Allow the two children to attend the budget every year. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. She off your mind. Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary political, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder. Maiyegun don't come. My people make we shout. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses. Maiyegun don't come. Maiyegun diary political. Maiyegun don't come. This one not they off in mind. Maiyegun don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining me this moment. It is brunch time with Maiyegun. Please take a moment to read the caption of the broadcast, the description as well. Like it and then share it. To invite your friends and also friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun is live. The brunch time with Maiyegun is the moment we kind of have an appetizer, you know, like a peep into what is going on in Nigeria. Yes. And we have a phase 2 of it as well, where we also read the historical content here. And then another phase of it is the open mic, where you too can have your own contribution taken. So share this, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, your frenemies, whatever. Tell them that Maiyegun today. Yesterday in Jos, Plateau State, a school building collapsed, two-story building with over 200 school children inside collapsed. And we heard that about 117 of them were trapped. However, some of them have been rescued alive, but 17 others were not lucky. They died. Just in case if you are not aware, there is a planned protest. There are planned counter protests as well. You should be aware. August will be an interesting month in Nigeria. Then September will be the bomb. Thank you. Sorry for the late start again. So we would probably not have the chance of reading our book again. And it's been a long time though, right? But let's go into what is going on in Nigeria today. A little bit away from the economy, which is something nobody can really run away from. But tragedy after tragedy, what is the cause of building collapse and the buildings collapsing in Nigeria, even though it seems to have become something that it's normal, right? What could be the cause of building collapses in Nigeria? Regulation, poor regulation, or poor building materials, the standard and all that stuff, right? Now, the answer could be in all of this, but when it continues to claim lives, innocent lives, then it should call for a serious concern. You may be moving into a beautiful building that you have no idea that is constructed with substandard building materials. So who is responsible for this? So who should be responsible for this? Tragedy after tragedy. 24 hours after what happened in Jos yesterday, this also happened in Abuja this morning. Let's go on and check that out.
You can see a building collapsed this morning at 22 phase 2, site 2, Sultan Road. And ever since we've called NEMA, fire service is here, police are here. But the most annoying thing is that no rescue equipment. People are trapped in the building and so many things is happening. In fact, they have stopped us from doing a video about this incident. I'm doing this hiding somewhere in a compound where I live close to the building. Please come to their rescue. If anybody know who can send in an excavator, please let them do. People are trapped in the building. And right now, the agencies are here, but with no equipment to rescue people here. Please, please. Let the right agency come to their aid. People are trapped. People are trapped. People are trapped. You can see the building from afar. I'm doing this because I'm not allowed to go close to the building to the video. I'm hiding somewhere to do this. Please send people to come and rescue them. Thank you.
Everyone should come outside.
So like this top floor is on top of the first floor. They had about 3 ladies stopped. They've extracted 2. They're trying to extract the 3rd person for a particular flat. This is at Kubwa 22 Kubwa.
You can see a building.
You know, so the neighbors who witnessed maybe the shaking, the vibration, and then the eventual collapse, they gave an account. Let's listen.
Good morning. Please, what's your name?
Good morning. I'm Mrs. Ella Onyeke.
Okay. So, as a resident of here, what really transpired?
Yes. What happened yesterday? A man who is living in that building left there yesterday, saying he noticed a crack yesterday. So he left with his family. So 5 a.m. this morning, some people that are living there say the building started shifting. You You understand? Started shifting. So some of them left, and they tried to notify others who are living there. So those ones, they knocked at their door. Where they were knocking, those ones didn't answer them. So that they are inside. Some of them left before the building collapsed, and some are still inside. And some are still inside. 7 a.m. this morning is actually the time that this incident happened. So we are still praying for this lady called Melanie to come out safe and sound. So I don't know.
So far so good. How many people have been rescued?
Like the ones I recorded is about 4 people. And this lady is still there. Melanie, like I said, she's still in there. A copper. She's still in there. So they are trying their best. So the people, the rescue team, they are trying their best actually to bring her out. So we are still praying to God so that she will be out safe and sound on hand. So,
okay, please, what's your name again?
Mrs. Ella Onyeke.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Okay, my name is Amakaya. So this morning, I think about 7, that was when we had that rumbling sound. So I thought it was from my next compound. Only for me to rush out. Only for me to rush out, and I heard, commotion, and all. So I went to the front and saw that the building had collapsed. So coming to my backyard, this is the back of my house, so everything had already come down. So they've been trying to rescue people. They've rescued some people. So they called FEMA. FEMA, they are around. Fire service are also out. So they've rescued some people. They are still trying to rescue more people. There are some people still trapped inside. So they are still trying to do the rescue right now.
How many people have been rescued so far?
About 4 people have been rescued. So some are still inside. Because you can hear sounds, people shout and all.
Okay, as at what time did this happen?
When I noticed was around to 7 this morning. Just a few minutes to 7.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning.
So some people should be, held responsible when things like this happen. But nobody is held responsible. There is no change in their building code or whatever it is that should be regulating the prevention of this. That one is a house probably built by a developer and rented out, because most of the people living there, they were just tenants who were moving out. So there is no record of any death yet, and we hope it stays that way. As for we hope Melanie comes out safe and sound. Well, the best is for her to come out alive. There's nobody that will be under a rubble, a collapsed building, expected to come out safe and sound. Safe, yeah. Sound, maybe not. But they should be alive. And wherever it is, it's obvious that there are rescue teams there, but it's going to happen again and again and again and again and again. I wouldn't mind if the structures in some of these places, right, that occupies large number of people are put to, what do you call that thing again? Structural test. And if they don't stand the test, get them demolished and save lives. See, this is one of the rigged world that I've sort of explained, many times on this platform, that when you are born in Nigeria, and especially those of you that were not born with any spoon at all, there were those who were born with silver spoons, they say. Others were born with wooden spoons. There are so many of us that were not born with any spoons at all. So when you look at the scale of things, where you stand, with the rest of the world, you realize that the world is, or life is already leading you by 4 goals or 4-0 in a football term. 4-0. So now how are you going to try and equalize when the people that ensured of that are still in charge, making decisions that are affecting those who are here now and those who are not here now. Our unborn children, unborn generations are going to be here eventually, and they're going to inherit all this kind of society, so to say. So the world leads us. Then if you get education, you are likely going to then have, that is going to be like a 4-1. Okay. Then when you have at least a manageable leadership running your country, which will then give you more opportunities to explore, then you are likely going to be 4-2. Now that 4-2, you have education, you have opportunities, you can create wealth. By creating that wealth, you climb the third ladder. When you climb the third ladder, that means what? You are already close to where some people were as they were born. You are close there. Now, getting there will now give you the opportunity, possibly, to see the world. Then you will now understand more, broaden your horizon, and know better about life, and know that this world is beyond the border of your town. Now, by so doing, you become, they will say, oh, he's an enlightened person, exposed person. So you are supposed to now be what? You'll be equal with the world. But the criminals in Nigeria ensure that the type of education they give to you is adulterated. They are teaching you, they are passing the knowledge that the rest of the world have left behind 50 years ago. They are still pushing that for the generations that they are giving birth to now, right? However, the rest of the world keep moving on. So it is their intention to give your children the way they give us a adulterated education, the one that can never really compete anywhere in the world. And if you are not born with a silver spoon, wooden spoon, like you are not born with any spoons at all, see how the whole thing is rigged against you. Now, your education is adulterated, your opportunity is limited. And how do you then create wealth to be, even if it's going to be to equalize with the world, where you can actually live like a normal human being that is respected, not the one whose self-esteem is completely there every day, to be assaulted, to be brushed, to be crushed, even before they can even test out wherever it is their esteem is, So you see how it's rigged against us. You see, when you participate in enabling these rogues, and they therefore, right, have a system where you could just die anytime, die of preventable things. People die, no doubt, but the kind of death that the Nigerians are subjected to under this incompetent, selfish criminals in charge of their country, most of them are preventable death. But because they have managed to sort of cage them religiously to the point whereby they just have to accept and say, well, maybe it's the will of God. And that will of God has made it easier for these rogues to get away with so much. Because you will be enabling them since it has happened. There's nothing anybody can do. Let's just pray to God it doesn't happen again. No, it's going to happen again. There are so many people who could have probably discovered the cure for the poverty that is ravaging not just Nigeria, the rest of Africa. They have been killed at infancy. Poverty has reshaped the path of so many of them that today, majority are just out there angling for what to eat. I'm hungry, we are hungry. You barely have any rational thinkers to challenge this rogue. So they succeeded in incapacitating generations, millions of people who are just existing for the sake of existence. You put them in a room and ask them their purpose. They can't really articulate their purpose in life. They can't really tell you what they want to be, per se, in clear terms, because you were not raised to be. Look at us. And it's okay, as long as people remain under that kind of a bondage with these rogues, then we can be living in buildings that could collapse on us anytime and kill us. You could be driving on the road that will eventually lead to our death. You could end up, cornered by the supposed policemen, security agents that were supposed to protect you, and then your life can be taken away. I mean, snuffed out of you just like that. In a rotten system, that's what you have to. There's so many dangers that can take your life that shouldn't. Communicable diseases, illnesses that are preventable these days are taking lives in Nigeria. Malaria is still killing people there. It's like, the more things change, the more they remain the same. But yet generations have been born into this cycle of misery. So the entire system needs to be what? To be wiped out. And all its products should also be what? Cleaned out. But the society that should sort of carry that out are not in that realm. Majority of Nigerians are not in the realm of how to possibly rescue themselves. Or with individually, everyone just wants to sort of get out of the hell, the sinking ship the sinking ship as soon as possible. So it makes it easier for the rogues, right, to continue to maintain their slave colony. So you can die anytime when you shouldn't. That should be scary. Your money can't save you, from the dangers that these guys have actually created. People now walk about, if you have small money, you walk about with security guys who are there, brandishing different kind of guns just to protect you, right? It is so risky that people don't get, people don't have access to healthcare during emergency, except they rob the palm, except they rob the palms of some of these people. The corruption runs so deep that even if you are looking for justice, right, then you realize that justice in Nigeria is for the highest bidder. So a lot of people's lives have been cut short due to the kind of shock they've experienced. That one that we call the Nigeria not happen to you. When it does happen, you realize that how can we actually live long in a society like this? How? And that's only for the rational thinkers. People who can sit down and just think like, man, we are in a mess, a very terrible one. See, they were having a conversation in their National Assembly. I can bring you their drama every now and then. They were having a conversation about how service chiefs were using the defense budget, diverting the defense budget to private pockets and building private universities in their own villages. Like the National Assembly of Nigeria, they are aware. And therefore, rather than make a move to get those service chiefs arrested for what they have done to you, look at the wreck that the terrorists have done. Look at all the ruins that the terrorists have unleashed on Nigeria. Now, if somebody in the National Assembly, the people that are voting money for this, money for that, if they discover that the money they voted to improve, this is what they said to improve the technological whatever of the Nigerian army in order to combat the terrorists. They said this money was diverted by these service chiefs, starting from Buratai the butcher. The money was diverted into private pockets. And they use the money. Some of them use the money to build private universities in their villages. And we are talking about billions of dollars here in the last 10 years. Billions of dollars have gone into them fighting terrorism. And guess what? The more money they spend on terrorists or fighting terrorism, the bigger, bolder, stronger, and deadlier the terrorists have become. Many of them have kind of like expanded enough that they have territories of their own that have been ceded to them by the Nigerian government. They call those areas ungoverned areas. If you go there, you are on your own. Oh, try be careful. The more they spend on fighting terrorism, the more terrorism grows in Nigeria, the more lives it claims. And these lawmakers, they found that the money meant for this fighting or defense of Nigeria, the money were diverted by the service chiefs. I don't know how they did it, but they found out, and guess the nonsense that these rogues were debating. They were debating on how to set up a committee and empower that committee to make sure that from now on, every penny that they budget for fighting terrorism, the committee will make sure the service chiefs do not divert them to go and build university. And you say Nigeria can be helped. In your dream, with these rogues, I would love to see it.
The Senate Committee on Army and Air Force should ensure that we do not only provide more money to the armed forces, that we guide jealously what they use that money to procure. Because under the supervision and oversight of this National Assembly, previous service chiefs diverted money to build universities in their various communities. Those are the kind of resources that should have been used to procure modern technology. And to think that money was being diverted to non-essentials. And as we speak, those institutions are not teaching anything about security. They are just another glorified university. And I believe that if half of those money was used to strengthen NDA in terms of competence of the men, and the rest used to procure modern technology for the armed forces, the armed forces would have been far more competent. Just last year when we were doing the supplementary budget, we saw that the Navy even appropriate money to buy a yacht. That is why the oversight responsibility of this Senate is extremely important, to prevent the armed forces to prioritize in a manner that coincides with what we think the Nigerian Army should be doing.
Additional prayer proposed by distinguished Senator Adams Oshimole is to the effect that we should mandate our Senate committees on defense, Navy, Air Force, Army, and other related security agencies to oversight all appropriations to the armed forces to avoid diversion of such monies from procurement of necessary tools to fight insurgents into unnecessary construction of universities in various domains of the armed forces chiefs. This prayer has been seconded. Those in support of the prayer say aye. Those against say nay. Let me take it again. The prayer is that all the Senate committees on defense, Navy, Air Force, and Army should immediately oversight and monitor that all appropriations made by this hallowed chamber are not diverted by the service chiefs to construction of universities in their communities, as happened in the past, but rather injected into the purchase of weaponry and technological equipment meant to fight insurgencies. This prayer has been seconded. Those in support of this additional prayer say aye, and those against say nay. Okay. The nays have it.
See? I mean, they will tell you that they are working on how to make Nigeria better, and they are working every day in order to keep you safe, blah, 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 blah. But that's how they are working. Let's move a motion, additional prayer, that this Senate committee will now have the oversight in preventing the service chiefs using the money for procurement, diverting the money for procurement into building universities in their community. So they know one or two of them who have built universities with the money meant to procure arms or even pay the soldiers. Nigerian soldier is paid 50,000 Naira. And the Nigerian soldier is also paid, this is an extra I heard, they said, a Nigerian soldier is paid, I think, 600 Naira every day if he's taken for his feeding and all that. If he's taken to the war front to face the insurgents, the insurgency. 600 Naira every day. And that's going to be like an additional, how much? 18,000 Naira for food every month. So an average soldier in Nigeria is paid between 50,000 and 68 to 70,000 Naira averagely. While some people have the confidence, the courage to divert such money, especially under Bukwari. And then the Nigerian National Assembly is not there, presenting the names of all these. I know Buratai built a university, right? I don't know any other, but he's referring to Buratai the Butcher. Now, Buratai the Butcher, who was the single person that was spared among the peers that work with Dasuki, when Dasuki was arrested for diverting money, arms money, $2 billion, right? The procurement officer for the Nigerian army at the time was Buratai the Butcher. You see, when Dasuki was in jail, like where Dasuki was in the house arrest or wherever they put him, right? Buratai the Butcher was also exposed of having 2 massive properties in Dubai. And you know what they said at the time? Buratai the Butcher got promoted to become a chief of staff, or chief of army staff or something, right? He got promoted, rewarded. And when you say, where did he see all this money to buy all these properties, including this about 4 or 5 properties in Abuja as well? Where did this girl, they said the Buratai the Butcher, they said it was a snake merchant. Yeah, a snake venom merchant. They said the Buratai the Butcher has a snake farm in his village. And even though he's a soldier, you know how much they sell a liter of a snake venom? $500,000 per kilo. They shall cook and cook. So Buratai went on to murder, what do you call it? He went on to kill more than 10,000 Nigerians in his time. Among them were the Shiites in Zaria, in Kaduna, where they had over 1,800 men, women, children slaughtered by the Nigerian soldiers on the order of Buratai the Butcher. That's why he had the name. He's a butcher. Now, if the Nigerian Senate knows that he diverted money to build university, how come they can't just mention it there? So the rest of them were just like, no, don't look into how they spend the money. Let them spend the money wherever they want, just like us. And talking about money, this latest conversation about local government autonomy. Makinde has something to say about that. But before that, here is him being, I think he was being decorated as a grand patron of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Oyo State. And somehow it doesn't really have a good record, you know, that much with, you know, critics. So, but it's not maybe as bad as others, okay? Not as bad as Ajimobi, because I remember that one, that Jirebi. Now, Makinde was talking about what people, journalists who stands by truth, what they kind of face, but his illustration is a little bit dull. But I still want to share it before I share that of the local, what he has to say about the local government financial autonomy. Now, here is part of what he said about that too, on that too. He said, this Supreme Court judgment is a distraction. And honestly speaking, I agree with him. Even though his explanation doesn't really make any sense, his own explanation is also like a diversion. He's talking about, oh, we need to focus more on this or that. But you know what? Let's hear this first part. I'll take you to that later. Makinde meeting journalists in his office. I think this is after the inauguration or the swearing or the coronation of the new Olubadan. We'll get to that too.
So, inducting me as a grand patron is basically a call, you know, to reconnect with that place. I can promise Mr. President that we will reconnect with that base, and just like I mentioned, you know, I know, you know, journalism, newspaper houses, even the electronic media, TV stations, they are businesses. So we shouldn't kid ourselves that there won't be interest. There will be interest. Yes, because they are businesses set up by certain people. They may have interest. But what is important is for us to identify the overriding interest in the overall trajectory of development for the country, for our state, and for our continent. I can tell you, I remember, I believe 1982, 82/83. The Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, it used to be TSOS then, TV station of Oyo State. Have you? A television service, yes. And there's a gentleman, Aloota. We saw, you know, the way the elections were going, how the will of the people were being suppressed. And the expectation was, look, this will be, you know, a government TV station, so they must protect the interest of government. But this gentleman, he was on here, and he would speak the truth. Eventually, he got fired. I mean, to be honest, he got fired. And I think he moved to OGTV or somewhere. But he stood on the side of the truth and the overall interest of the people. 1982, 83, this is almost 42 years. Is turning towards half a century. He's still alive. But some of us that took more than a passing interest in the going on at that particular time, we still remember him. Anytime I meet him at a function, I will acknowledge that. And that's what you see elsewhere in the world where people are practicing developmental journalism. You stand up, to various interests and let those interests know that there is an overall interest, which is for the generality of the people. So when you mentioned...
So talking about overall interest, well, the AAC of Showore, the Take It Backers, they are still asking him to let go. The young Nigerians that have been locked up in Agodi prison for 4 years now, well, almost 4 years now, since the time of EndSARS. Now let's go look at what he has to say about the local government autonomy. Yeah. For him, he said, the Supreme Court judgment is a distraction from the real issue. Because in practice, it will take more than the Supreme Court judgment for what the rule want to achieve to be achieved. Anyway, more we hear from him. He's kind of like a boring guy, though, right? But his explanation after, is more boring, though, as well. But one thing is this. He made it clearer that if you fall for this local government autonomy drive, which is part of what the likes of thiefnubu and Kwandi and gang will always kind of ride on. Now, it is to ease or take your mind away from what is already cooking, where thiefnubu is being roasted. We'll get to that part, but let's hear his talk.
Where's the, where are we going? So, just this morning, as we are the commissioning place, they said, oh, okay, there was judgment of the Supreme Court, there's local government autonomy, financial autonomy, and all of that. And I will still say it. I think it's just a distraction. We must face the real issues that we have. And the issue that we have is we are not producing enough. We're not productive. Whatever it is that we're sharing in Abuja, which is what this FAQ is all about. Oh, okay. Whatever is in Abuja, share it to the local government. Is that our problem? Well, okay, maybe it may be a part of the problem that, yes, you want to have a value for what is being shared, but our real problem is productivity. How much are those local governments generating within their domain? Can they survive without handout from Abuja? And handout from Abuja, is that the way to go? Is it sustainable? The ball is in your court, really. You must peel through, look at the real issues, and don't let us be distracted. I will ask that it has nothing to do with us here in Oyo State. Since I came in, we've held local government elections twice. We held one when I came in. And for one day, after we held the first election, there's no caretaker anywhere. We planned, we gave allowance for elections for the process to go on. So it's not, yes, it's not a big problem. But now this is going to be the discussion for the next maybe 1 month or so, when issue of hunger and anger in the land will still be under the table. It's a big issue. The federal government is saying, okay, now we need to import food. It's a big shame. Yes, it's a big shame on this country. We cannot feed ourselves. And then you're saying we should go back to those things that will allow us to bring confidence back to our people and to ensure that this country is back on the path of growth and progress and development. So,
nuisance, Lele.
See that a man that betrayed his own party for the man that he now says his judgment of giving the money of local government directly to them is, you know, a distraction. Remember that he is one of the G-string five, the five G-string governors. So they brought this rogue, and wherever it is you are facing right now, they brought it upon you to start with. And they kind of have no regrets doing that. But he says something about the local government cannot survive without the money from Abuja. Can you, the state government or state governors, survive without the local government's money? Give it to them. Let them do what you do with yours too. The states have taken over the revenue generation from the local government areas. Most of where the local government were by law allowed to generate their money from. All these greedy scums, right? They've taken them over for themselves. And that is why they will tell you boldly, where do you think the local government will see the money? Do you think most of this local government can generate any money? Do you even know how much they generate? Now they will go back and then they present to you and say, take a look at this. All the local government area in my state, they all generated 20 local government area in my state, they all generated 60 million. And do you know how much I gave them? They didn't give them any money. It is the money, the allocation from Abuja that they paid into in a lump sum, paid into a single account. That is where these widows will brag. They say, do you know how much I gave to them? Say, how much did you give to them? We shared over 1 billion. Meanwhile, the money that came to all the local government areas that month could be around there 7 billion. It could be around there, 8 billion, even as much as 20 billion that month for all the local government in the states, right? But guess what? They will now bank on and tell you the local governments are not, they cannot survive. We have been the ones helping them. And true, you will see some of the STGs that they kind of rigging as the local government chairman. They will come out and say, it's true. Last month, we only generated, we only generated 4 million naira. And we are now trying to see how to improve is for all of them to just go out and make life a hell for all of you. But guess the state government, they've taken over their responsibilities. So that they can now say, oh, we are the one helping them. Give them their money. Let them waste the money. If not waste, if not loot, they won't loot them. Give them. But he is right. It is just a distraction. Okay? It is just a distraction because, listen, they have been trying to patch your fraudulent 1999, trashy constitution, okay? But because it wasn't written by people, it was not from the people. It does not represent the people. And that is why you found a badly structured building and you move in. And you started patching and trying to see if you could probably use bamboo to hold this side when the house is like that. You want to use bamboo to hold it here. Use rope to tie them from there, tie them to that tree, tie them to here or there and all of that. No. You will have that national conversation very soon when the entire space will collapse. It is coming. I can smell and I can feel it. It is coming. Okay? So, the rogues in charge of Nigeria as well, right? They themselves knows that if you want to really give the local government money to local governments, you would have to either write a new constitution, which is actually the start of any meaningful thing at all, right? Write a new one, or just go to that inside your trashy one where you amended the state local government joint accounts. You would have to go and erase it completely. And when you erase that, that means by law, you can give them their money directly. Even though they may devise other means of still stealing it, but that way, what you are saying, what the Supreme Court is saying, can begin to make sense. But it's true. In the next 1 month now, what you'll be talking about is local government autonomy. Autonomy. thiefnubu has said that thiefnubu is a democracy. Yeah. The same way. The bat idiots, the apopungbemus, the dabimoshedas, the alayebajes were jumping from one tree to the other like monkeys, right? They were jumping here and there, and they were screaming. Wow! What are they screaming? Oh, thiefnubu is the leader of Nigeria that has the strongest. He just took a bold decision. What's a bold decision, guy? He removed subsidy. Nobody has tried it. Nobody until tomorrow they still go on TV and say thiefnubu took a bold step and removed subsidy. How? When in reality, right, your subsidy is almost like a triple now that you are paying, even though you are even paying more for fuel. You are also paying more for subsidy on subsidy as well. Secretly. Lies. Because sometimes you just be like, okay, if we are not paying this anymore, how come that, they don't have more money? How come they are still borrowing money? Because they are lying to you. That's what they are doing. And that is why the effect of whatever they say to you never really gets to you. And I remember very well, I'll keep reminding you, I remember very well 2021 when some of these wearies were celebrating this same local government autonomy, financial autonomy. But it didn't last. They didn't even make any move to amend the part of that constitution that will indeed stop the governors. So yeah, I remember the governors at the time coming out to say, this is a great thing. This is a great for democracy. And for the few weeks or months after that, people spoke about it. But the local government never received any shishi. But you see this Akpari man, yeah? And that is what do you call, sorry, apologies to you, the Akpari, so, but it's all right. Right? The bad Ededigu here. As something, is their law officer. He is also the defendant of thiefnubu APC during the presidential tribunal and all of that stuff, okay? So he's now the Attorney General of Nigeria. On this local government thing, he said, it is with immediate effect. You know why you are seeing all these things here, right? It's because in a few months' time, I'm going to come back and ask you, how far with the local government autonomy? You, the Abobakus, you better begin to cook wherever you think you are going to tell, the kind of lie you will need to tell. But for the record, this guy says it is with immediate effect. And this month, I go call my local government and see if they receive their money directly too. So Seyi Makinde was right. This is what they will be talking about for the next few weeks. Or maybe not.
We have just received the news of this landmark judgment today. What's your reaction to it? You spearheaded this case before the court.
Naturally, one will be happy, should be happy. Nigerians are happy about it. I call it local government emancipation judgment, because it has really emancipated the local government from, the shackles of the past. So, and I hope that the local government officials will seize the opportunity, will look at it as an opportunity to develop their various local governments.
Okay, part of the judgments will require that states hold elections for local government areas. How are we going to ensure compliance to all of this?
Well, the ball is in the court of the governors. Let us see what they will come out with. But the judgment is clear as to what they should do. The judgment is clear as to what consequences will attach to failure or refusal to follow the judgment of the Supreme Court, which takes immediate effect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Talking, it's like a talking head. And they say, thank you very much. So thank you, sir. Talking heads. But right from what you say, you can pick what or where this is headed. Okay? It's going to be between them trying to throw it around. Oh, the reason why we haven't is because the governors have not conducted elections. Oh, the reason why we have not this or that is because there's a segment of the law. Then you begin to also hear that this guy is going to send a bill, amendment bill, to the National Assembly to amend that section of the law. And if once it passed, the president will sign it into law. And that's how all of you will be waiting when they will make the first payment. When are they going to make the first payment? It will be when that chicken grows teeth. Or when these guys are totally or completely gone. Now, there's something on the horizon, and I'll keep reminding us. It's important you know whether you are going to be impressed by it or not, right? It's a different ball game, okay, or it's a different question entirely. The thing now is that in Nigeria, there are many, many protests that are now cooking, okay? And when I say many protests, Showore is calling for Revolution Now 5. The Arewa North, they are calling for the national protest against the following. And they are calling it in a way to say, we are calling on Nigerians. Nashowore won't be this. August 5. But it's like the Showore zone is like a 1 day. The take it backers and all that, right? So their own is 1 day so far. I don't know if they have any extra, okay? From those ones from northern Nigeria who have now developed or designed their own posters, they have a day they call End Bad Government in Nigeria 2024, nationwide protests. And the date is going to be from the 1st of August to the 10th of August, 10 days. We are not served. They know they miss out, right? And listen to me, guys, right? This is not a jive, okay? Sometimes when you read posters from northern Nigeria, right? Most of the time where it's actually the way they pronounce things. Sometimes it's the way they will write them on the posters. And no matter how much they try to, they will still leave out little things to show to you the failure of the educational system in that part of Nigeria, unfortunately. But for the little they know, yes, they are speaking out. So read on. So you have, they said, no tribe, no region, no religion. Our demands: end subsidy scam and reverse fuel price to below 300 per litre. Now, thiefnubu that they talk to. Bring tertiary education fees back to their previous rates by reversing subsidies. Restore electricity tariffs to affordable levels for the public. Now, thiefnubu that they talk to. Mukuna no forget to. Now, thiefnubu that they talk to here. 4. So number 5. Sorry, they say number 4. Return import duties to their previous rate. 5. Publicly disclose and reduce the salaries and allowances of all senators, House of Representatives members, and the Speaker, especially the Speaker. Establish an emergency fund to support SMEs, and that is small, medium enterprises. Make INEC independent of the executive branch with transparent processes for appointing its chairman. Now, thiefnubu that they talk to, don't forget to enact a law mandating INEC to electronically transmit live electoral results. Really? Arewa want them to transmit election. Now, people where they laugh about IREF defending Mumu Tiketi, defending Yakubu. Now the election must be transmitted electronically. Really? Interesting time ahead. Here, 8. So number 9, reopen national borders. thiefnubu don't open border already. He don't announce the opening of the border like about 3 times. But they're asking him to open the border again. They said he should reform EFCC, declare a state of emergency on inflation, reform the judiciary. You know, what these guys are asking is that thiefnubu should just take a rope, okay, and hang himself and disappear. And the Abobakus are, okay, I want to do that one for 10 days. The Abobakus are now mobilizing for 15 days protest, counter protest, to save the contraption. Look at them. Protect Nigeria rally. We're rating what we relate, you know, everybody to work with it. This time, I know like you. So make you just kind of know which part of the madness you will be a part. So they said they want to protect Nigeria from another EndSARS. So you can easily tell that these ones are coming from the Lagos Abobakus, the voluntary slaves. That is also written all over these posters. Now, these are the Ronukus. Ronukus have developed their posters. Arewa have developed their own poster. Showore don't develop his own poster. But the Ronukus are still pretty much suffering from the EndSARS PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And look at their poster. They say now 15 days. I don't know if they will provide food for them. But I promise you, without food, Now, take a look. They say protect Nigeria rally. They want to protect Nigeria with empty stomach. They said all local government secretariats, state assemblies, major roads, markets, city centers in Abuja and Lagos. We say no to sponsored protests. We say no to hatred and tribalism. I want we bigot you. I want to normally in the other part of the world, you call them the red-haired racists. These are self-hating sewage dwellers, so poverty wretched loonies, so politically sponsored rogues, but they don't want tribalism. We say no to hoodlums, destroying shops and businesses. Agbero says no to hoodlums. Is this word not interesting? life no be interesting thing like this. How many of you remember when I said, look out for September? September is going to be a significant month in Nigeria. Even though it might be, maybe the water is going to escalate to something, right? But I'm not banking on that. But it's going to kick off in August, okay? So now, in northern Nigeria, they sent all their clerics yesterday. Because I won't lie to you. See this flyer? It's everywhere in Sharia North. I can't say much of the people in the middle belt because they have decided to separate themselves from this usual, repeated tomfoolery from this Sharia North, that whenever they wanted power, they will remember that the middle belt is part of northern Nigeria as one. But the moment they have the power, then the middle belt are infidels. They should be grateful that the Fulanis are converting them to Islam. And if they fail to, they will be killed. Straight 8 years, Bukwari backed the campaign of terror against the people of the Middle Belt. Now they know better. So every time the North is crying at marginalization, Middle Belt are just telling them, yeah, cry your cry. Just cry your cry and let us cry our cry. We are not one North. Just claim your Sharia North and let us manage our Middle Belt. So I don't know what this protest plan or what have you is in the Middle Belt part of Nigeria. But you tell me, especially if you are in that part right now, you'll be able to tell us. This one is the North Central, kind of like Abuja, sort of, right? And this was yesterday. The Abobakus are waiting for the mobilization money. But piece by piece, some are already out.
Hungry day, Tinubu. Hungry day, weak. Hungry day, 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 hungry day.
No more peaceful protests again now, because peaceful protests no dey work. Yes, peaceful protest, e no dey work. More turn out to one normal, more enter so scatter everywhere. More shook, waiting no good. More no.
So like I said, it's brewing. Some of them knows, but they just don't know when it's going to strike. Undume was on this screen last night, or yesterday afternoon rather, where he was talking about the incompetence of those thiefnubu appointed. This was, he called them the worst thieves ever. But you know why he's doing that, according to him? Undume is speaking out now. May all of you see that he's speaking out, because they can smell it too when the shit hit the fan. So yesterday, they sent all their clerics to go and talk to these young people promoting protest is haram. Protest is haram, is not allowed in Islam. A cleric was heard telling his own congregation, worshippers, yesterday, Jumat. And he said, rather than protest, why not just pray for the leaders? We should be praying for them so that they can do right by us. Don't join them in any protest. You will be violating the will of Allah. That's what one of them said. But to their own surprise, the people started murmuring. We will protest, we will protest, we will protest. And they said, to those who witnessed that in like one or two places, they said, it was shocking. That is on Northern. I said, okay, what is Northern? Because Northern is always ranka dede, ranka dede, ranka dede. The leader is right. Follow the leader. And do not, for any reason, disobey your clerics. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I do. Actually did know that though. But when they are like, they are now observing that, I feel like I say this generation of young people around us here too. In fact, one person who was very observant of what happened said, in his own mosque, those who were murmuring, they were not really poor people. Like those you can say, oh, Talakawa. These are like well-dressed, better looking. And they were like, no, don't say that. Okay. So the bottom line is that, if I say the message they sent out the cleric in northern Nigeria to stop their planned nationwide, they call it nationwide protest. So the North is expecting the South to join them. They want to lock down the North. And they want you to lock down the South. But their demand is that they should reduce this, reduce that, reduce. They can't reduce anything, except you tell them to sack themselves like they are doing in Kenya. And then get yourselves ready to have a counter protest that will last 5 more days than yours. So if you are planning 10 days, thiefnubu's voluntary slaves, they are already planning 15 days. So these are the expectations. So the bottom line is that it's not, the message they try to pass in the North that is around this, around that, seems not to be working. We will soon find out though, right? And some of their influencers who were promoting the protest, they do shalaye now. When I say shalaye, they have started kind of like, what Islam doesn't really approve is violence protest. Alaye, you demand, which one is peaceful violence or whatever? You want to protest against what they are doing to you, Abi? You want to demand a change, right? Then they're going to attack. They're going to attack you. They're going to shoot at you. So what are you going to do? You are not the one who is going to attack the police or anybody. They are the ones who will shoot at you. And then they will now blame you that your protest is violent. So they are using their influencers now to try to explain the type of protest they will do as a ready. But as for Ndume believes that people are so hungry right now that if all of you now begin to hunt down the people behind your sufferings, look on Asperamo. That's why he's speaking out now, telling all of you what he knows in his words.
I sent the message out to them. Are you aware that people are very angry out there? Are you doing something about it? And the response is that, yes, we are aware it's the work of opposition. I say we are finished. Because no opposition would want to bring down the roof of the country on itself. Because they are in the country. So if the country collapses, is it only going to collapse on the ruling or the governing party? No. So when people in power start responding like that, then I'm worried. I'm worried for this president. I'm worried for myself. Wow. There's problem out there. A bag of rice is now selling for 100,000. A bag of maize is selling for 100,000. My wife was telling me that a basket of tomato is about 100,000 too. Onions. Every food is going up, the price. Inflation is 40%. The value of our Naira is going down. And then, not only that, when you tell people in government that, hey, people are hungry, angry, and they are preparing, or there are signs that they will revolt, and you say, no, don't worry about them. That is very, very dangerous. And I hope this will be, to me, God will exonerate me because I told them. And many Nigerians today told me and encouraged me to come for this year program, speak out on our behalf. And that's why I was elected. If the government doesn't do anything, there will be problem. I sent.
You get that? I like that one though. Somebody said, Ben, you know the gaslight thiefnubu, nothing will happen. If anything will happen, may collapse on top of everyone. You are right. He shouldn't come and try to pretend that he is now sanctimonious, you know. I'm calling them. But also, I don't want you to also ignore what he said because it's normal. That's what they say. When you tell them they are failing, they will say, no, it's just people who don't like us. And things are hard though. People are complaining. No, it's just people who don't like us. Nigerians like us. Nigerians are not complaining. Only the enemies of the government. Our opposition, they are the ones talking, just saying all that thing. Now, when you have people in government that think that way, you have a problem. Even though that's how much all of them thinks. Now, if this guy who has been a beneficiary of the same rotten system himself so much, if he feels worried, I don't care if his worry is genuine or not. Okay? But are you not worried? Be honest. Are you not worried for Nigeria? That's I know somebody said, well, Nigeria has been captured, Jare. Nigerians have been captured. It's called state capture. And when you have state capture, right, indeed, you are going to have a revolt on your hand. It is just a matter of time. You can't have state capture, okay? And at the same time, you have a growing poverty at a never seen before speed. So yes, you can enjoy your state capture momentarily. So it will lead to a revolt. The revolts that you are witnessing right now are just the revolts within the elite class. That's where it's going to start from. It's already begun. It's started. So you see them when they come out like that and losing out, what they are doing is they are strengthening the conviction of the already angered, agitated citizens. It's a matter of time before it erupts. I don't have control over that, right? But I really do wish that when it erupts, people are very clear on their demand. These criminals must be arrested, all of them, including thiefnubu. Now, if you put that before yourself, right, and you actually tell people that, you know what, we are going to pick all these people up, and we need millions of us to be out. Whenever you see any of them, ministers, commissioners, governors, all these elected guys, appointed guys, you know, they must be arrested. And if you add that to your protest, now you are getting them ready. So that if you want to now go out and go for them, now you can sweep all of them out, okay, from the north right down to the west, to the east, to everywhere, because that's exactly what they will do to you. They will sweep you, they will break you, they will shoot and kill you. So there's no point in going out and be shouting a beam power that they should reduce this tariff, reduce that. To them, you are an opposition. You are those who normally, no matter what they do, you will never like them. In fact, you are being sponsored to think like that. Now, when you have people in government that thinks like that, then you have a problem. So if you want to deal with them, to make them believe that you are serious, you are not going to carry a placard and say, being power, reduce the tariff, reduce electricity tariff. You want it to return the school fees back to what it was. You want it to, no, they won't. Don't be daft. They don't even have the power to reduce anything. Now, that's another one. Do you know that your criminal politicians in Nigeria, all of them put together, they do not have any power, okay, to reduce your inflation. They do not have any power, right, to take you back to where you probably think was better than where you are now. You are going further and further into the abyss. It's the rabbit hole, okay? If you don't pull yourself out, they will drag you further and further, drag your children. They're already doing it. So in your widest imagination, don't ever believe that going out there to say, reduce this, reduce that, even if they make pronouncements. Oh yeah, we have reduced the electricity bill. Are you daft? I mean, you shouldn't be that daft to believe them. When the pressure becomes much, right? They will begin to make pronouncements. But one thing you must always remember when you want to join them in any of these protests, right, is to be very clear what the demands are. Don't join them because you want to go and ask the criminals who actually sees you as an opposition, not as a citizen. They don't see you as citizens. They don't see these young men and women staging these solo or multi-protests to express how they are feeling, to express how this economy has affected them, to express how this terrorism has affected their lives. They don't see them as citizens. They see them as people being sponsored. Imagine somebody saying you are sponsored for protesting being unemployed, or protesting the loss of a family member to poor medical system. Imagine your government not interested in talking to you and their appointees. We know those who are sponsoring you. You are IPOB. Oh, you are this, because that's what they will be saying soon. They're already saying that we don't want another EndSARS. People that are mobilized and transported, known thugs, agberos, to the protest ground, captured on camera. The people that brought in Agbero to loot warehouses, they turned it around and blamed it on the protesters. Protesters they killed on the 20th of October 2020. And the looting of shops, looting of this or that did not start until the 22nd of October, 2 days after they massacred people. And the following day was like the whole country was mourning. Everywhere just went. Then the looting started the third day. Now, these guys are already blaming. They said the protesters were looting. EndSARS protesters were looting. And their media, so many of them have used this political narrative to push so many political divisive agenda, and they are still doing it. As if to say we're all stupid when all this happened. That's why you have Maiyegun's Diary Political. Go onto my YouTube and search. I dare some of you now to please do now, after this broadcast, okay? Please go on to Maiyegun's Diary Political and search for the videos from, they are there, is the diary, from the 2nd of October, 2020. Every day. What happened every day, everywhere, up till until the 20th of October, when they massacred people across the country. Then the days after, I challenge you to take your time and see all those videos and events. They are there, right here. But the narratives are being politically changed today in order to further keep people in fear. Don't participate. They are sponsored. Those who are asking you to stand up for your rights, they are Igbos, or they are this, or they are that. They just want to destroy Nigeria. Nigeria is being destroyed by these criminals and they are sponsored terrorists. But you, standing up to say enough, is being scared or is being sort of threatened that your effort is being sponsored by some people. Like you are stupid, you don't even know what you want. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, hunger day.
Hungry day. Tinubu. Hungry day. Weekend. Hungry day. 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 Hungry day.
Hungry day. Tinubu, hungry day. Tinubu, hungry day. And true hungry day. Or what do you think will make somebody who said a lot as the Atiku spokesman just less than a year ago? He was supposed to be like a spokesperson for Atiku. And then now, he's now Peter Obi's troll. What will you call this? Somebody said that Atiku is not a good judgment, a good judge of character. He just doesn't have it in name. Now, he picked this guy to be a spokesperson during their 2023 charade. A year after that, see, no be hunger. No be, they say hungry day. This one no be hungry day. The guy is in London.
Aspect of the conversation. First, we talk the legalese. Why we're being joined? It's why we're being joined in the program by a lawyer. He calls himself an independent governance policy analyst and a friend of President Bwala Tinubu. A member of the PDP is a Daniel Bwala. Is that the best way to introduce you? Was I correct, Mr. Bwala?
Unless one, I'm not a member of PDP.
Oh, you have left the PDP?
Yes, I have left the PDP.
Okay, but you're not in the APC?
I'm very close.
We'll talk about that another day. Let's talk about why we brought you here. The judgment has come. We've heard comments from everyone, literally, as far as this is concerned, for and against. But let's get your assessment of this judgment of the Supreme Court that says, look, no longer business as usual. Send these monies to the local government areas. In fact, if you're carrying any other nomenclature apart from elected officials, whether it's transition, caretaker, whatever name you want to call it, forget the money. Help us make sense of what you think about this.
So the Supreme Court is not just a court of law, but it's also a court of public policy. The world over, the apex court of the land play this dual role. There are instances where they interpret the law strictly as they are, and there are instances where they interpret the law, but then apply public policy to cure the mischief. What has been the mischief is that the clear provision of the law, which provides for joint account between the state and local government, has been abused by governors over time. And therefore, governance is not delivered at the local level. And if you know the powers of the lawmakers, constitutionally speaking, they are to make laws for good, order, and good government, for peace, order, and good government. Where the law made by the National Assembly does not provide peace, or does not provide order, or does not provide good government, the judicial branch of government can strike that law, can interpret that law howsoever to give.
He has no job.
So that's a Bwala. Hungry deal. So he's now the spokesperson there for thiefnubu on a voluntary basis, right? I just thought I should drop that in there. Meanwhile, the Nigerian criminal police, they normally will not beat the allegation again, okay? They will not beat it. So I found a video where a young man recorded the Nigerian policeman in his in a car with him, and he was under arrest because they found soap in his baggage or something. So he was under arrest for having that soap. I think I have it.
Who they fight? All of us and they fight, say, who they go? See so for my bag now, small picking the follow talk. Me we want that shit money now I do pity for myself fast. Thank God I don't give on that shit. Go reach that station like this. Are you? I may be the first person who see soap for the bag.
So the Nigerian policemen, they found a black soap in his bag. And they demanded that he had to pay them, or else they will arrest him, what he is doing with the soap. So the guy now said, move the go station. So you can tell them there that you have found one person for the first time who has a soap in his bag. That is what you have in that contraption. It happened. So yesterday I kind of said something about Enugu and what Peter Mba is doing with their roads. I've seen some beautifully constructed and well-marked roads. And I've been told they were new roads, and you could tell. Now, I don't know where this is in Enugu again, okay? But it looks like a main street somewhere in Enugu as well. Show it here to Peter Mba. This also needs fixed. And I don't think it will take too much to do. When I saw that, I was like, this is a busy road, a commercial place, right? Is he not aware? I think it was actually meant to be somewhere else, not Peter Mba. That's not the one I wanted to share with you for Peter Mba. It won't really matter anyway. So that one says, Unewi, rather. Unewi. I said Mba. I take that back. Yeah, I've seen beautiful roads in Enugu, and I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. And I've seen beautiful roads as well, because this guy that I showed to you earlier, Sheyi Makinde, Solo Makinde, has been sort of doing so well on brand new road construction as well, and I saw a few, so I'm putting them together: good, bad, the ugly. Maybe for later tonight, right? So I'll leave it at that for now, and thank you so much, for your time. I think we have just like about an hour. We should probably have a call time. So I'm going to take a break, okay? And when I come back, yeah, we can probably have one or two calls before we call it the noon. Don't go anywhere. Hello there.
Hello. Happy weekend.
Same to
Happy
you.
Saturday.
Same to
Yeah.
you. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, let me go straight. In reference to this elderly man that called yesterday, and then starts making it. Yeah, of course, I don't want to be rude to anybody, and it's not in anybody's place to be rude anyway. So, but to be honest, that man is trying to kind of
Encourage that.
train.
Hang on.
Yeah, that's
Say,
it.
whenever we can try, because sometimes I can't
Yeah.
really control what people say. I just pick my call
Yeah.
randomly and I just let people be adults, right? So I encourage that if
Yeah.
we can try, okay, when we disagree with what people say or how they say things, sometimes, right? If we can try, we can at least share our disagreement without being counter, rude, and or else it's just going to continue. You say it now, somebody call in, blast it, and you call another person call back. We will never have the
Yes. Yes.
okay, but yeah, I want to hear what you have to say about that, though, please.
Yes. What it's just that is how they normally start, especially when they are aiming to get younger people to start thinking that way. For any reason, maybe when you were young. I mean, I used to have a classmate from Eastern side. And then we fell into we fought at some point when I was in school, and then that it just hatred that your age, and then I now see one of my big Agbaya uncle or brother start telling me about Easterners and these other this is the way they had or whatever. So then you start developing that hatred, right? You can imagine.
That's I think we all experience that when they will say,
yes,
Omo Igbo will come and eat you in Yoruba land.
Yes.
How can that's how they do. That's how they normal. And you are just sitting there like, no, we had a disagreement. And then you begin to feel like, oh, okay. So you're having my back for tribal reason. Not because maybe I have been kind of bullied by this young man or something, but it's about tribe. A lot of us were conditioned that way, Baba. You are right.
So what I'm saying, every one of us should be very careful, especially these young people. We've moved beyond that. We're human. We are human. Human come first. Then the religion or whatever, that is just secondary. It doesn't matter. What matters is the quality of life, is the issues on the ground. And people should wake up. When people like that start coming and talking about, Nigeria will never be like that because of the religion, 50%, 50%. Who even told anybody that Nigerian population is so amount? So it's all just made up. If we start, if people like that, and we have people like that, a lot of them.
And now,
especially
some of them are doing so subconsciously. Now, that's why I kind of always want to, that's why I always do my explanation that way to say, you see, we all have our biases, no doubt. But some of these things are no longer good for today's world anymore. You see, there were times that they were really useful as a weapon that they used in dividing people, and it was potent. But these days they are becoming more or less like, no, it's no longer acceptable. Because the people that are dealing with us, they are dealing with all of us collectively. They are not even dealing with us because of our tribe or this or that. All of us, they collect. So at that point, it's advised that people should...
And this Western world, they feast on cows. Anywhere there's chaotic, that's what they feast on. And then Nigeria is bound to. Nigeria is in that realm, in that box, right? So if we don't manage or try to educate ourselves around that now, I hope it won't be too late. And that is a good example of this, Mr. What is the name? This pressman that always talk rubbish. This old man. What is his name again? The one that is in Lagos that always say something in their press or social media. Tinubu's social media coordinator or something. I've forgotten his name.
Are you talking about Bayo?
Yes, that is a good example. You see, the way that man is talking yesterday, right? That is a bit of that Bayo Nonuga, and that is how they are. And in fact, that one, Bayo Nonuga will want to slap you. In fact, when the discussion come heated in their circle, you would think they are in their element. They will start saying things that is not, just talking about
and they become so enraged. Imagine getting angry because you are hearing things, right? And then later you realize these are all make-up. These are all made-up stuff. All because politically, a lot of us didn't know when we were growing up that some of the rhetorics that they are putting in our head, they were all politically sort of motivated. But we didn't know. Sure, you get. When somebody says, this your tribe is, let me tell you, your tribe is superior to any tribe, you will feel good and say, oh, yeah. But what is the benefit of, what makes it is the best all over this, if not because somebody wanted you to see others as maybe below you? Then when you know, what is the benefit of saying my ethnic nationality is the best, is the Kiniko? So that means if other tribes are coming to me, they want to come and destroy that greatness in here now, right? But I didn't know that those who conditioned me that way, they were all politicians in their rights back then. I was a kid, believing that I am preserving the heritage of my tribe, my ethnic, right? I didn't know, you won't know you are being programmed that way. So that in the future, you have something to hate other people for. They say, you are a Yoruba, you are Igbo. See, that's what the Yorubas always do. They will try and they will want to make your tribe and your culture less. And you that was raised that your culture, your this and that is the best in the world, you become agitated. You don't want to hear anything anymore. Now, we now see those who taught us to hate ourselves based on tribe, ethnic, religion. We now see them. They are clicking glasses. They were sharing money. They were marrying their children to themselves. They are not considering tribe, ethnic, religion. But you and I are so programmed that that's all that matters. So that's why we are saying that when people come around with such rhetorics like, let me advise our Igbo brother, who are you? Why are you advising them? Why do they need your advice? Or somebody comes here and say, let me advise my Yoruba brothers. My Yoruba brothers, who the hell are you? It is your bigotry speaking through you, making yourself feel like you have no problem. You are the ones you know what I mean? And it has to stop. We must continue to remind everybody that it must stop.
It must stop, or else, because the Western world, because when we carry that kind of mindset to this kind of country in the Western world, we become primitive.
Yes.
It's a primitive way of looking,
primitive mindset.
Looking at things. Yes. And it's not good at all for anybody. And then before I go, you know that senator, you know the way they normally talk about rubbish, about time to start, time to end, our prayers. Don't worry, we will do this, we will do that. They haven't even concluded anything successfully at the front of the camera. How would they ever be able to solve anything in the back doors in their office? These people are jokes. They are jokes. They are clowns. They don't. There's nothing. Nigeria doesn't have government. I will tell you now because they did not. That is not a people's mandate. No. These are just caucus mandates between themselves. That's why nobody can arrest anybody. Nobody can hold anybody responsible. They are not. That nothing good will come out. I tell you. Till tomorrow. That one is talking till kingdom come. Nigerian, they will be picking presidency. They will be this and that. What kind of mindset is that? In fact, that man, and then first thing they will say, yes, I'm a learned person. I went to school. No, this is true. You are stupid. You are not learned. In fact, the more you think you're learned, you are just
primitive people are always there to shout.
Yes.
I am uneducated. I am this or that. But
yes.
If you are educated, right, what comes out of your mouth will tell us.
Exactly.
Once you are educated and you started sounding so primitive, like illiterates. Now that is not a pride. It's actually embarrassing. For some people who don't know, it's embarrassing. Baba.
Thank you very much for your time. And then, well, God will continue to strengthen you, all right? And all your heart desire, everything that you desire in your life, of course, God will grant it to you, right? Of course, we know how it works. God have already given us the ability to achieve all these things because we have good health. We can stand up in the morning, go out there and walk. Go out there and use the platform that the government have provided, the enabling environment. In this country, you can achieve it without any bribing anybody, without having to have any godfather, without having any you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. As well. You have the chance. Yes, you have. We can have our limitations here and there, like anywhere else, but the opportunities are there as well.
Yes, a 1 year old baby today he has the same right as the prime minister in this country, right? So that's how it is. That's how it should be everywhere in the world. So this was in Nigeria and in other places in Nigeria. I mean, in Africa, I don't think. But I thank God that Kenya is laying a good example.
Politicians say Africa is not the West, and you say, hang on.
Yes.
All these things are not like they were not done by angels or by some spirits. They were done by humans. Now, you don't even have to think about these things anymore. You don't even have to create these things anymore. Just copy and paste. Copy, paste. Baba, gone are the days when people are, the rest of the world has created a lot of things that you could copy from them. Look at Dubai now.
Yeah. You see?
Most of what you have there, they were copied from all over the world, transformed to their own style, and they made a statement with them. Look at them today. For Nigeria, they tell you, that's not possible here. It's not easy. What they are saying is that with the corrupt people around, we are doomed. But should that be our destiny? Should it?
God. Look, well, you know, where one person will have 10 houses, empty, lying there for doing nothing. 10 cars. The roads are not good. Look, okay, just continue. Let's listen to other people.
There's something about Gandola that came to the news yesterday. Now, Gandola, usually you see them when they always order their cars, 1 billion naira to buy cars, 2 billion, 20 billion, and all of that stuff, right? Now, they said when Gandola was leaving, they were selling Toyota Ayas. You see, that's passenger bus, 18-seater. Toyota Ayas, or those ones that like, they call them executive buses. You know all those buses now, Baba? The ones that always have AC and all of that. Gandola was selling them to his cronies in the government house of Kano before he left, just about a few weeks before he handed over. They were selling Toyota Ayas for 30,000 naira. They were selling cars, brand new cars, government cars. They were selling them 100,000, 50,000. 35,000 naira for brand new cars giveaway. So that the one that is coming in will now have to also budget. These are cars they bought in, but triple cost of their real cost, right?
You know, that is treason. You know what they do? Yeah, you know what they are doing is reasonable. Because why will you sell government property? Because another government is coming in. This is not your
that one will now order billions of naira to buy more cars.
Ah, God, the means how Tinubu became president that is there now is treason, is a treasonable offense. You read yourself in. You deny people to vote.
Mm-hmm. They are right.
You burn ballot boxes. I hope. Look, I hope that there's a platform where people will be uploading.
They beat INEC officials bloody when they didn't want to.
That is a treasonable offense. Yes.
What kind of country is that?
God, we have Nigeria.
Amen.
Okay.
Because they will need it. Take care. Yes. Nice one. So the line is still open. Okay, we'll take one or two calls, and you can add your voice too on the program. But the most important thing is that share it. Okay, because there are so many people who probably need to see this or hear this and all that, as we do all the time. Okay, give me a sec. Right, sorry I missed that. So thank you once again for joining me. And if you just joined us, how do I put that? If you joined us at midway, I kind of advise that you should probably watch this from the start again by the time we wrap it up, okay? Let's take this. Hello there.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, sir.
This is your brother calling again. I called the other time. I told you I'm calling your namesake. I hope you remember.
Well, as you are talking now, I think I do. Where are you now?
I'm Olushola. So I told you. So yeah, this is basically what we are talking about, and many of us are happy that this is happening in one way or the other. All of us cannot just sleep and put our heads in one place. We cannot just succumb to these lies of all these charlatans, all these criminal politicians. No. And well, at this point in time, thank God, even the so-called Sharia law that have been saying, they're saying that if they revolt, is this and that. They are not. And I tell people, it is this shege that will unite all of us, whether we like it or not.
You know what they say? They say
hunger does not have a head.
This shege will bring out the beast in us. This shege will bring out the beast in us. If I say the beast is about to come out now, gradually, sir.
Yeah, I think it's better. Let this beast. Let's unleash this beast. I was just speaking to my brother the other time, and he was telling me, Egbon, what is this? That if they buy something 3,000 today, in the next 2-3 days, it will be 5,000. It will be 10,000. But at this point in time, it be like say, who go die, who go survive. And this has been somebody that will say, no, the blood of Nigerians, they cannot use my blood to atone for the sins of these Nigerians. And I say, so you could say this. You say, Egbo, what you do, you
now?
It be like say, who go die, who go live, new money. So people are now coming to this realization that there is basically no way out. If we don't go out, we don't revolt, we don't show them. But my own real concern is the unity of purpose. Now, some people cannot just be talking of all this and reduce this and reduce this. We know this road will not reduce anything.
Exactly.
So the question is, there must be unity of purpose.
Stop asking them to reduce this or that. Tell them, okay? So even start with, Thiefnubu first need to start stacking himself and everyone around him.
Yeah, that is the way.
Or if you are there,
that is the way.
Reduce that. They are creating ministry. They are creating more jobs for the boys with no money to. And you are
it's as if we are not just ready.
They won't.
It's as if we are not just ready, because when I read some of all those stuff, I think it was even hilarious. You know, they wanted to write slaves, they write South, or that was a comic relief. And then I listened to you saying that no matter how they want to do their things, you always know that that form of educational backwardness.
That's why I said that it wasn't meant to mock or anything, right? I have seen some
I understand
all those amateurs who developed their own posters, and it was like FIFU. I was like, what do you mean FIFU is people? And you're supposed to say people. But it actually really, they published it and they shared it that way. The FIFU.
Yeah, because I was thinking in the publication process, there should be people that will sit and reread and proofread, and then because this is for national or even global consumption. I know. Yeah, it's for global consumption. So, but any which way,
I know.
It should be noted. It should be noted. So any which way, we should be talking about more germane, more pertinent issue about referendum, about ending APC, about, there are very big and cogent reasons why we should go out. Even when people are going to die, there should be not all this, reduce that, all those ones.
No, they won't. You need the entire system to be gone, right? Now, you can even make a demand, for example. Your demand can be like, something, right? We demand a new constitution.
Wonderful. We start from there.
National Assembly anymore. We don't want this anymore.
Yeah, those are basic things.
These are basic things you can.
Yeah, those are basic things.
Like, okay, let's have a chat.
Yeah.
It's not about hunger.
So if we are not, it's just quite unfortunate. There was this program you did one day. I think you were referring to one of the. Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm with you.
You were referring to, I know, Dr. Charles Akpoti, his comments about this and that. Well, he is a senior colleague, but one of the issues with those senior colleagues is that they've made so much out of Nigeria. They've had their establishment, their businesses, and one way or the other, they are still unity beggars. They know the implications, they know the rot in the system, but in one way or the other, they are like, when this implodes, they have a lot to lose. And even some of my contemporaries, some of my friends that are benefiting from this corrupt government. So when we speak up to an extent, so when they start to put the God factor, we start to fight. It's God that will do this. It's God. I said, it is not God. It is us. God has given us the power to change whatever is going to happen. When you put the God factor, you don't want this thing to change. So even some of my own contemporaries around 49, 50, they have that same mentality. Even those in diaspora, because they've had businesses, they've had all this stuff. So they will now. So when you now talk about this thing, we must crash this to make it. There will be fights. There will now be fight. They know the rot in Nigeria.
They were the generation raised to believe that asking question is an insult. I have never.
You're right.
I have never, for the life of me, sir, seen it that way until later in my life. That what we call respect is actually where people eat away, sir. They are most of their shortcomings. Now they now project their shortcomings on us in order for them to feel safe. And we shouldn't ask questions. You know that they say even if you see them doing something wrong, we were raised to keep quiet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
you're right.
When they see people like us talking about we need to stand up, we're seen as violent. Like, who raised these people?
Yeah.
Who raised you, these children? Don't you have home training? Don't you have, all of you lack home training? When your elders are talking, you need to calm down and listen. And we said, listen, you are mixing them up. When you are elders, in your rights, when you're talking, we listen. But when you are a politician, a public person who takes decisions for millions of people, you don't demand respect. You have to earn it. You don't demand their trust. You have to earn it. And you must be responsible too. Now, you can't mix both. This is how they raised the generations before us, sir. They mixed up
the
home training, leadership, this and that, with the public leadership. And the politician took advantage. And we are now saying it to them. That era is gone. Please stop reintroducing it. Can you please let us actually face these guys who are also raised, sir? Most of these guys were raised never to answer any question, to be responsible, sir.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All those you see in public offices, they were raised. Once you get to that certain stage of your life, you know it. You were not supposed to be asked questions you don't want to answer. And we can't run a country like that. We can't run our lives like that.
We cannot.
That's why we beg on these elderly people to please think about this. You were raised to be quiet. See what Nigeria has become. You want us to be quiet too. And our children, really? And that's why we need to keep saying this, sir. Honestly. We have to.
You see, another issue is even that regard is quite different from respect. Regard, even my children, you have respect, like you rightly said, when you have good values, when you have accountability, when you command all this without being forced. Now, a situation where when you start to force people to respect you, it's disheartening.
Yeah,
and like you said, that is what that means you are hiding a lot. You have a lot of baggages
that you don't want us to
now,
see.
Even and you don't want us to see, and you're now hiding under this culture, under this stuff, and all this, and saying yes, you are not Omoluabi. You see, even they will say, "Kò sí nǹkan tágbà máa ń ṣe ju pé kó fi ré ọmọdé jẹ lọ." But literally, there is nothing we grew up hearing that. You grew up hearing that when you are in any position in the family, be it in the community, your position is actually to shortchange and to cheat those below you. So when people imbibe this kind of philosophy and ideology, this is what transcends to the facets of our lives. So that's why somebody will
exactly, sir.
That is it. That is what transcends. So somebody will amass all the wealth, put everybody, people will be living in squalor, in abject poverty, and we cannot question. No. If you question, they will bring the respect. No, you are not even respectful. You are not even respectful. If I'm hungry and I see people that are putting me in this mess, I cannot even. You won't be able to talk. They will now throw the age factor. They will now throw the age things. So
then if all of that question is working on you, they will now say, is he the first person to steal? Look how many lives he has changed. You know how many people he has already he's given scholarship to? Do you know how many people he's paid their hospital bills? Do you know how many women that he gave money to? Hello, why do you need to steal public money to give some people scholarship when public fund can provide education for everybody? Why do you need to steal public money, right? To pay for some people's hospital's bill when an healthcare plan, well-funded, could take care of everybody, right? Why do you need to give money to people to start businesses when a working system with a loan system, like a financial system that can provide loans, cheap loans to women to start business, men and everybody? Why do you need a politician that steals public money to do philanthropic job in place of something called government job? And that's what we mean by, if for everybody who has been keeping quiet, they were raised to keep quiet to show their Omoluabi, if keeping quiet actually works, why is Nigeria in this mess?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, we should be.
Why is Nigeria in the mess? If keeping quiet like you were raised Omoluabi or you were raised from good homes, who raised these thieves? Who are the parents of these criminals? Right. If you come from a good home and you are told to keep quiet, can we say the same of these thieves who are looting the treasury? Who are their parents? Who raised them? Shouldn't we ask?
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, we should ask questions. We should ask. You should ask.
Come to you must come with clean hands, they say.
Definitely. And I quite really appreciate your work. I was speaking with a colleague the other time, also a Nigerian here. He's from the south extraction of the country. Right. And when we were now speaking, I was just using one of your lingo, Bokwari. Hey, doc, You listen to Maiyegun too?
See?
I said, yes, of course. I said, I've been listening to. So you will not really appreciate the enormity and the veracity of the enlightenment you are giving to people. It's actually going far and wide. There are Nigerians, especially Nigerians in the diaspora. Many of them rely on you for the good news. That's why I call it the good news. They rely on you for the enlightenment because many of us may not have the chance to be sourcing for news. But once we just tune into that channel, we know that we're going to have and the enlightenment is actually working wonderfully well. Because when I spoke to my brother, the way he was saying it that no, many people have been saying it. All what people have been saying before, they've been lying to them all along. Many people are now opening there. And I'll say, who is the example? You see, there is this man, there is this one they call Maiyegun or something, that he listened to him, and then the ideology started changing. That he had to call the wife and children that see this, that before that he was thinking, maybe this Maiyegun is brash, this Maiyegun is inflammatory, this Maiyegun, but you don't thought of it that these people these people are they are pillaging the economy, they are doing all form of worse into us, and they still want respect.
Too, Baba.
And when we are seeing the consequences of the damages, they are now shouting us down. That we should, it's going to be fine. It's now people are now saying this, that yes, the people that we need to fight back. Need to fight back, and the question is they are the weapon that is fashioned against us. They are the ones that came to steal, to kill, and destroy.
Baba.
So many people are now, and this my younger brother is a core Christian, moves from one mountain to the other, from one pastor to another one. So he just told me, Baba, our problem is much more than all this religiosity.
Bigger.
Our problem is, so it's now, people are now saying like, so we've been lied to, because your average pastor is going to tell you that it is God that elect leaders, and that is a pure lie.
Not anymore. No pastor
it is
say that.
Yes, it is.
That's why we say, you know what we are saying now, sir. I would say that people who are finding it difficult, sir, to claim ignorance. I didn't know. Because the level of information that are now becoming available, even when you have those who are pushing propagandas and lies, it is now a choice to choose whether you want to feed yourself lies or facts. Or you can no longer claim ignorance anymore in the face of
people.
If these guys don't even see what is going on around them, sir, it is to our own advantage. I said something. I said, they are living in a world where they believe that they've captured everybody. And there's no amount of anything anybody says, this one, they cannot do anything. I said, that's a good thing. When they look at Nigerians and be like, no, so then they do. It is a good thing.
They cannot do anything.
So that they will continue to use the same technique once they come out. Shoot them. They will run away. Okay? Now, once they have no other, because Baba, the security agency in Nigeria, and I'm saying this to everybody watching me too, they do not have any other technique. They have no other means of stopping you other than shoot you, kill you, and you run away. You see, the moment you resisted that and you don't run away after they shoot you, and then they run, because there's no other idea anymore. There's no other idea.
Yes.
They don't have any other idea to say, okay, how can we then break these people? Once they try to bribe you, gaslight you, blackmail you, then shoot you. If you breach all of that, it's over. It is over. And that's what I'm saying. Right now, let them look down on all of these things. Ignore all these signs. It is a good advantage. We shall see, Baba.
It is very good advice. So that's the thank you. I really, really appreciate this good work, because at least you are delivering people from the shackles of ignorance.
Bless you.
We have this weaponized poverty, weaponized ignorance, and then this weaponized religiosity. Now you've been, at least this religiosity thing, people are now saying, so this thing is no brainer. We can extricate ourselves from the shackles of all these corrupt religious leaders,
and still worship God. It's not wrong.
Yeah, and still worship God. It's not wrong. We can talk about governance and still worship God.
Because you are worshiping God, you must also worship man. That is wrong.
Worship, yes. Yes. So it will get to a time whereby all these our corrupt leaders and these corrupt politicians will not be afforded that front seat.
No.
People will stone them, people will shout at them and say, no, you are the one destroying Nigeria. Don't come and masquerade yourself as good people here. So it's you are doing a good job, and I just pray that God will continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
And we will continue to pray for you, and we will continue to try our best in enlightening people, because once I get this video, I send it to my people in Nigeria, those that do not have access to this and that. They watch it and then they'll say, who is this man? Who is this guy? I said, that is Maiyegun. He has been doing a very wonderful lot. And then that is our own way of propagating this good news.
Exactly. Keeping quiet is
not
very much.
No. It's not. It's a sin.
It's a sin now.
If you keep quiet, you are culpable.
You are a culpable. Yes, you are an enabler.
You are culpable. You are. Okay. So thank you. Once in a while, when we have chance, I will still continue to call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and please.
Okay. Bye. Yeah.
Regards to everyone.
Yeah.
Now that's a good one there. You see, don't let anybody use your religion to tame you in enabling these criminals by keeping quiet. There's nothing they want to threaten you with anymore that they are not already doing. People are dying, and you could be next. I could be next. If I find myself in anywhere close to the geographical contraption called Nigeria, anything can happen to me. So I have to be there, and once I'm not there, I kind of do thanksgiving. You have to say, hello, Michelle, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Why are you thanking Lord and Jesus when your plane flies out of Nigeria like you are flying out of hell? Why? Because these rogues have turned it into hell. Don't ask them to reduce food prices. They can't. Don't tell them to reduce electricity tariff. They won't. Stop asking them to reduce this or that or change what they deliberately put in place to keep you impoverished. Stop asking them. Chase them out. Arrest them. Citizen arrest. When you see thiefnubu, you grab him, you chain, you tie in hand and in leg. When you see rat, tinubu, you tie in hand and in leg. When you see Sheyi, that jobless layabout, right? That freeloader. When you see him, you tie in hand and tie in leg. All of them, when you see all of them around this place, you tie them, you arrest them. Citizen arrest. Everything you want to be changed will be changed overnight. That one. But if you beg them, they do protest. Whether you are going to run away later. No deal, boy. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Baba Maiyegun Epele.
Hello, sir. Kábíyèsí o.
Oríṣàlítì jọlọ́run ẹlẹ́múra káṣíwé ẹ̀ka wa ìrì o. Oríṣàlítì jọlọ́run ẹlẹ́múra káṣíwé ẹ̀ka wa ìrì. Gbogbo ti Nàìjíríà, èmi ò ti Ṣàngó, èmi ò ti lépa ọ̀bẹ tí bọ̀rìṣà. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ o, ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o.
Bàbá.
Ó gbére, àwa tìkárẹ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ àmọ́ ẹ bá ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ìwúlì wà lílẹ̀ yìí o. Ẹ má ràn wá lọ́wọ́ torí a ti mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run ti ràn yín lọ́wọ́. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ mi jó mi toro ẹ̀mí fi gbogbo ẹyé wa. Àmọ́ mi ò mọ ohun lè wá sí mi lọ́kàn sẹ́yìn bóyá Ọlọ́run ló ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ pé kí n ṣàlàyé fún yín. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá lè ṣe ní kẹ́ ẹ gbowó yẹ o. Àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá lè evangelize 5,000 people. Ipe láti sìn títí di July ọdún lèmi bọ̀. Kó lè kálukú máa tọ́jú owó kan make sure pé owó yẹn wọ́n mi tọ́jú ẹsẹ̀ gbẹ́. Bí láti sìn bọ́ pé mi tọ́jú 20 pounds lóṣooṣù láti sìn títí di July ọdún lèmi bọ̀. Ó dàbí pọ́lọ́run máa fún ẹ láìdíà kan lóníkálukú máa dáwó yẹ sí. Ìṣòwò ló lè gbà kì í sí ìṣẹ̀yí ṣùgbọ́n especially àwọn lè wà ní south west wa bá bẹ́ẹ̀ bá lè ṣe èmi ò mọ ó lè ọlọ́run máa fún ẹ sọ o èmi ò mọrú àìdíà yẹn ṣùgbọ́n owó yẹn máa wúlò owó yẹn máa wúlò fún nǹkan kan owó yẹn máa wúlò fún nǹkan kan because I sense something is coming as an idea. It may not be something you will collect the money for now. But if about 5,000 people can be keeping, okay, I'm just keeping this one, God is going to give us an idea what this money will be used for by this time, July next year. Even before that time, God will have said, okay, this is the way. Because like you have been speaking, I believe strongly that most of these politicians are also, they already finished their preparation of running away, whether we like it or not. But I think there is going to be
discovered some few private airstrips in northern Nigeria, in southern Nigeria, and these are completely off radar of the Nigerian aviation, wherever, right? And we believe this, apart from them being the smuggling route, that they are smuggling some of the resources through the, they are also escape route for these politicians when the shit hit the fan. No doubt, sir.
I didn't even know that, but I just felt that as you have been speaking, I just felt very strongly that an idea is coming that will need these resources. Because without these resources, there will be shortage of victory. I don't know, we might be more than that, but for now, I strongly believe that something is going to happen the diaspora.
Let me bust your bubble since you have repeated it the second time.
Okay.
Sir, I'll tell you something that is coming. But the idea, yes, you probably have been spoken to by something that is more terrestrial there. But now that is not my terrain. But I'll tell you something. When you mentioned 5,000 people, and you mentioned 20 pounds to use the frame of what we spend here, right? Something is speaking and talking to you, sir. There is a Yoruba Union formation. We're having a summit in August. You'll be hearing about that. Although it's our first, it may not be as boom as whatever some would expect, but it is also going to be the foundation for something. By this time in 2025, we intend to have more than that number. Verified or more Yoruba whose aims and objectives and purpose are well laid out, articulately. Sorry, I don't want to use article. Okay, like it's clearly laid out that every person that is part of that union, because we'll begin our membership registration by the grace of God from the 1st of September. So when you talk about number that way, now being a member of the Yoruba Union, you can join from all over the world, of course, right? So there is something called the membership deal that is being discussed. Like, okay, should it be $1 or £1 or $10 or £10? Now I'm using this now. Just no decision has been made on that yet, but you said you have this mind, and there's an idea. I mean, an idea that will come. The idea, sir, by the time we get to that July next year, to meet us prepared. Okay, and you as a person will probably be one of us then too. So we will be more than 5,000, sir.
I really don't know, but
more than 20 pounds.
I really don't know, but I really don't know, but sometimes I just get that.
You know something. Sorry again, sir. Yeah? You know something. I've said it on this program many times that there are so many things we always want to happen in Nigeria, especially so many of us who disagree with this current formation of Nigeria. But there are so many things that will never happen because we want them to happen, right? And those people who are actually there that could make them happen, we are not on the same side. which means we are expecting other people to carry out what we think should happen. Now we've discovered that then all of us will remain in the trenches complaining all the time.
That's right.
In another 2-3 years, I won't be sitting down here just talking about the problems of that contraption. I will be leading a legion of people who have clarity. We are not just going to be talking, we'll be demanding so many things.
That's right.
And we will be making sure they happen. Now, to have that, we need physical people who believe in this ideology, who sign up for it. So that when we say, hey, when we call 1,000 will rise. When we call 1,000, 10,000 will rise.
I thank God for the confirmation then.
We are building something closer to that. I just thought I should say it to everybody so that you don't begin to sound like, oh, we don't understand what he's saying. It is similar to something that is already online, on ground.
I thank God for the confirmation because the way I'm looking and as you are speaking, I know it's not what you are speaking, but that was exactly what piqued in my spirit. And I said, let me just say it. I don't know, but I felt very strongly that if we have the figure, at least people will say, okay, let them just pick one place. Okay, I'm not giving my money right now, but this one, I'm just keeping it for emergency, something that, but I felt that it is you that God will give that brain box that will bring something that will need that thing, and everyone may not have that particular amount at that particular time. But if that thing is being dropped somewhere, little by little, it's like a water coming out of the tap. You may say, well, it's nothing, but come back tomorrow morning, it will fill up a cup. But to you, it's nothing. So if everyone give ourselves from now, July, till next year, July, I'm sure that those little foundational this thing that is needed in order to gain the grassroots mobility, it will be there. That's why I said, let me just call.
You are on the right track, sir. You know, they say, I mean, the spirit speaking to the church, they will say, right? Listen to the spirit speaks to the church. Something is, I want to believe something stronger is indeed, right? Speaking to you. And somehow you are the vessel relaying that out. Something is coming, sir. I have said it before. I said I won't be somebody who is going to sit down here and then just treat or deal with people, because I could be here and I could have like 1,000 people, 2,000 and on like that. Now we need to transform that to something physical, something that can actually be useful, right? So now said, if I am going to, you know, there are so many people who have kind of come here many times to say, oh, Maiyegun, we want you to this. I said, I'm not going to be like that. This is social media, okay? There are ways to go around about it. Now, if we have a verified people who associate with us as members, and let's say we have 100,000, because it's so easy to do that these days, okay? Just lay out the whole thing and everybody interested will sign up, right? And let's say we have 100,000 of us, and even in that same Yoruba land, for example, from our members, let's say we have 50,000 of us, or let's say 60,000 of us inside that Nigeria Yoruba land, dedicated Yoruba Union members, right? Now, if I sit down here and on this screen, I have about 10,000 people watching. Out of that crowd, right? 8,000 of them, they are Yorubas who are here to learn how are we going to go about this curve? How are we going to get ourselves out? Now, if I have that kind of audience, then I can now say, right, I'm leading some legend, I'm leading some people where we share similar ideology, not just social media. Now, we need to build that. That's something that people didn't want to do. It's the hardest work, sir. A lot of people want to command people. They want to control this and do that. Nobody wants to build.
But if you are not a good follower, you can't be a good leader. That's one thing. Yeah, you have to be a good follower first to be a good leader, because a leadership is not by age. Àwọn èèyàn wa ní ìlú Ègùnrán ọ̀run sọ pé kò ń ṣe ọjọ́ orí ni wọ́n fi ń ṣe ẹni tó máa wà níwájú, torí èèyàn lè jẹ́ ọmọdé kó dẹ̀ kí Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ gbé ògo fún ọ̀rẹ́ torí Ọlọ́run ló fi síbẹ̀ tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe tí ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ nǹkan tí àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ wọ́n á dẹ̀ yọ kúrò ẹni tó tún rí agbárí jù òun náà á tún wọbẹ̀. So we have seen you as a brain box, someone that God is using in a very righteous way. And we feel that, I feel very strongly, although I'm a man of God, and very simple kind of way I preach my own message, especially into sports, into football. I've been running football since 1983, but that's the area God has called me. And I'm also a comedian. So I feel very strongly that you have been chosen. When the time comes, we will see. Yes. But I'm just encouraging every one of us who are always on Maiyegun Diary to try as much as possible to be dropping something somewhere unknowingly. Say, let me just be dropping this, something will happen. I feel very strongly about it. Thank you very much.
And you too, sir. Thank you so much for that. That's quite amazing, though, right? My time is now so up, okay? In order for me to be able to make it down here this evening, right? So we need to call it a noon, okay? And I appreciate everyone who has been around, and there's so much to be done. I am so grateful, right, that I have the right audience, people who are more interested about life issues, those who probably have choices of looking away, but looking away from what is happening in that contraption is not a choice, because whether you like it or not, whether you look away or you don't look away, you could become a victim anytime. So there are so many things that can be done. Our people need so much and repeated enlightenment, including me. And you see, when I come here all the time, it is not just you that is here to refresh your minds, to update your own minds. No, not just you, including me. See what I'm sharing with everyone here, and the analysis or whatever I had to them, they are all coming from my own position of concern, okay? And if you begin to see things your way, okay, I mean, I do not want to tell people what to do per se. I would like to show you what is going on, tell you what I'm thinking about it, and maybe give you the chance to also think or come out and say what you think about it. You see, when we are sharing all of this together, what we are having is that, say, a problem shared is a problem solved. In the process, you're going to find like-minded people that want to take it further from just exposing these routes, educating the people on how to identify these routes or deal with them. It requires more. It requires more. And in that process, that means it's not just going to be you. You're going to need other people too. They have been there, maybe wondering like you and me. But this platform is just like the melting pot that brings everybody together and say, okay, I think I share something in common with you. Oh, I think I love that your idea last night. Now we have a platform that a lot of you have become so accustomed to it. Accustomed to it, I mean, knowing that you would always get the factual, up-to-date happenings. Not just in Nigeria, but from Nigeria and across Africa. That one is credibility there. Also on this platform, a lot of you are beginning to kind of build relationship. Your relationship are being built beyond your tribe, your religion, your ethnic, and all of that stuff. Now, because you are building friendship, we are beginning to also build respect. Yeah, we still have our shortcomings, okay? We are beginning to build respect for among ourselves. We can disagree and say, oh, I disagree with you. Now, you can disagree with people without looking at them and say, it's Igbo, it's Yoruba, it's Hausa, it's Fulani, it's Christian or Muslim. Now, we are achieving that here. All of this virtually in a toxic environment that all of us have to exist in. Because you still have to go and exist in all those toxic environments. Social media, off social media, everywhere toxic. People fight themselves or they argue with themselves off social media because they meet at the barber shop, they meet at the salon, they met at the African shop, where the argument about what's going on in Nigeria kind of ensued, and people argue. This, they fight themselves sometimes. But on this platform, what we are now doing is to make sure that what we sort of learn here, that we should begin to sort of take them out there too. Like, you know better, then you do better sort of thing. And I'm glad that a lot of you are like, number one thing about Maiyegun's Diary Political is that a lot of people you will see on Maiyegun's Diary Political, they are not people that you will usually see on the YouTube looking for video to watch. These are mostly people who actually don't really have the time, per se, to sit down and watch a 1 hour, 10 minutes video for what? For somebody just talking. What's he talking about? Well, if I could get a lot of this serious-minded, ever-busy you to sit down here and watch Maiyegun for hours, get your interest into it to the point whereby you are now more concerned enough that you want to see something change. I mean, it's a job, all right? We want you to go out there and be the better people, the better person, the better enlightened, well-educated, because we have seen all those things in the past that have failed us, because we're being fed with lies. We're being conditioned, programmed, in order to suit the Nigeria they wanted us to live in. Now we've realized that, no, that can't continue. So if you grab something here, we all have our prejudices. We all have our biases. There are some things that are no longer fashionable. Okay? Whether public or private display of bigotry against one another, educated people, enlightened people, they are no longer fashionable. It's becoming too embarrassing. It's like disgraceful when you see educated people spewing bigotry, spewing divisive rhetoric, tribalism, and all of that. And you're like, I thought this person is educated. See? So I'll leave us at that, and I will see us again some other time. Maybe later this evening, okay? Thank you so much for your time, and you should all take it easy. Good afternoon.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary, Diary Political. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ súnra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.